Hello, good evening, friends. My name is Mahadev Mendar, and welcome to my book reading channel. And I am continuously reading the book Atomic Habit in Hindi medium. Today, for change, I am reading the book in English medium. Uh, Up to this day, I have completed uh, 15th chapter and 16th chapter also I read in Hindi language. Half of the chapter I completed. Now I am going to the next point. Uh, the name of that point is how to recover quickly when your habit break down. The point is how to recover quickly when your habits break down. Uh, Friends, I am reading, so concentrate. No matter how consistent you are with your habit, it is inevitable that life will interrupt you at some point. Perfection is not possible. Before long, an emergency will pop up. You get sick, or you have to travel for work, or your family needs a little more of your time. Whenever this happens to me, I try to remind myself of a simple rule: never miss twice. If I miss one day, I try to get back into as quickly as possible. Missing one without happens, but I am not going to miss two in a row. Maybe I will eat an entire pizza, but I will follow it up with a healthy meal. I can't be perfect, but I can avoid a second lapse. As soon as one streak ends, I get started on the next one. The first mistake is never the one that ruins you. It is the spiral of repeated mistakes that follows. Missing one is a accident. Missing twice is the start of a new habit. This is a distinguishing features between winners and losers. Anyone can have a bad performance, a bad workout, or a bad day at work. But when successful people fail, they rebound quickly. The breaking of a habit doesn't matter if the reclaiming of it is first. I think this principle is so important that I will stick to it even if I can't do a habit as well or as completely as I would like. Too often we fall into an all of nothing cycle with our habit. The problem is not sleeping up. The problem is thinking that if you can't do something perfectly, then you shouldn't do it all. You don't realize how valuable it is to just show up on your bad days. Lost days hurt you more than successful days help you. If you start with $100 and then 50% gain will take up to $150, but you only need 33% loss to take you back to $100. In other words, avoiding a 33% loss is just as valuable as achieving a 50% again. As Charlie Munger says, the first rule of compounding: never interrupt it unnecessarily. This is why bad workouts are often the most important ones. Sluggish days and bad workouts maintain the compound again you assure for previous good days. Simply doing something: 10 squats, 5 sprint, a push up, anything really is a huge. Don't put up a zero. Don't let loss eat into your compounding. Next page. Furthermore, it's not always about what happens during the work. It's about being the type of person who doesn't miss workout. It's to say to train when you feel good, but it's a crucial to show up when you don't feel like it. Even if you do less than you hope, going to the gym for a 5 minutes may not improve your performance, but it redefines your identity. The all or nothing cycle of behavior change is just one pitfall that can derail your habit. Another potential danger, especially if you are using a habit tracker, is measuring the wrong thing. Next point, knowing when to track a habit. Say you are running a restaurant and you want to know if your chef is doing a good job. One way to measure success is to track how many customers pay for a meal each day. If your if more customers come in, the food must be good. If fewer customers come in, something must be wrong. However, this one measurement, daily revenue, only gives a limited pictures of what's really going on. Just because someone pays for a meal doesn't mean they enjoy the meal. Even dissatisfied customers are unlikely to dine and dash. In fact, if you are only measuring revenue, the food might be getting worse, but you are making up for it with marketing or discount or some other method. Instead, it may be more effective to track how many customers finish their meal or perhaps the percentage of customers who leave a generous tip. The dark side of the tracking a particular behavior is that we become driven by the number rather than the purpose behind it. If we success is measured by quarterly earning, you will optimize sales revenue and accounting for quarterly earning. If your success is measured by a lower number on the scale, you will optimize for a lower number on the scale. Even if that means embracing crash diets, juice cleanses, and fat loss pills, the human mind wants to win whatever game is being played. This pitfall is evident in many areas of life. We focus on working long hours instead of getting meaningful work done. We are more about getting 10,000 steps than we do about being healthy. We teach for standardized tests instead of emphasizing learning, curiosity, and critical thinking. In short, we optimize for what we measure. When we choose a wrong measurement, we get the wrong behavior. This is sometimes referred to as a Goldhart's law, named after economist Charles Goldhart. The principle states when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Measurement is only useful when it guides you and adds context to a larger pictures, not when it consumes you. Each number is simply one piece of feedback in the overall system. In our data driven world, we tend to overvalue numbers and undervalue anything ephemeral, soft, and difficult to qualify. We mistakenly think the factors we can measure are the only factors that exist. But just because you can measure something doesn't mean it's the most important thing. And just because you can't measure something doesn't mean it's not important at all. All of this to weigh all of this to say it's crucial to keep habit tracking in its proper place. It can feel satisfying to record a habit and track your progress, but the measurement is not the only thing that matters. Furthermore, there are many ways to measure progress. Thus, sometimes it helps to shift your focus to something entirely different. This is why non scale victories can be effective for weight loss. The number on the scale may be stubborn, so if you focus solely on that number, your motivational will sag, but you may notice that your skin looks better, or you wake up earlier, or your sex drive got a boost. All of these are valid ways to track your improvement. If you are not feeling motivated by the number on the scale, perhaps it's time to focus on a different measurement, one that gives you most signals of progress. No matter how you measure your improvement, habit tracking offers a simple way to make your habit more satisfying. Each measurement provides a little bit of evidence that you are moving in the right direction, and a brief moment of immediate pleasure for a job well done. Friends, I have completed this half of the chapter in English language. Now I am reading the summary of this chapter, that is the 16th chapter. Chapter summary. One of the most satisfying feeling is the feeling of making progress. Second point, a habit tracker is a simple way to measure whether you did habit like marking an cross on a calendar. Habit tracks and other visual forms of measurement can make your habit satisfying by providing clear evidence of your progress. Fourth point, don't break the chain. Try to keep your habit streak alive. Fifth point, never miss twice. If you miss one day, try to get back on track as quickly as possible. And last point, just because you can measure something doesn't mean it's the most important thing. So, goodbye, friends.